Shop smart, shop S-Smart.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of New Book Buddhists.
I am your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me is Sarchotic Studios. Is that how you say it?
Yep, Sarchotic.
Sarchotic Studios. So what? How do you prefer to be addressed? What should I call you?
Just Wubba.
Wilbur?
Wubba.
Wubba?
Wubba.
All right, Wubba. That's what we'll call you then.
It's
Probably should have asked that before we started. You know.
Yeah, long-standing nickname. Using it, signing all my stuff in it. You know, so.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, you know, if that's what you've been rocking for a long time, then
Right.
we shall roll with it, good sir. So, welcome, Wubba. Thanks for coming to hang out and bringing your book. Doc Quasar is what we're going to be talking about, and you are actually on fundmycomic.com. Our boy Luke Stone's crowdfunding platform. I am so excited for that. We need this alternative platform.
We really do, and the way Luke has that platform set up, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. They're so helpful over there. You know.
Yes.
Anything you need, Luke will help you out. I mean, he'll walk you right through everything. That they barely take anything for a percentage. I mean, yeah. Do something like this.
Yeah, the platform fee, that platform fee is smaller than any of the other places. So as far as I know, that's the lowest platform fee out there currently.
I saw that, and at first I thought it was a mistake. I asked Luke about it, and he's like, "No, it's only 3%." I mean, so he's clearly doing it out of his love for comics. He's not looking to get rich off it, you know.
He wants to help people. He really does. And you know, when I always tell people about it, I was like, yeah, Luke Stone's got a heart to help this scene. He really cares about, you know, the people in this scene. He really cares about, you know, making good comics, and he wants to help people get their stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, Flying Feline? Skull, beautiful. Thank you for coming to hang out.
Doing,
See, she says, hello, Wubba. Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah. That's my favorite troublemaker right there. She's got an awesome show on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. called the Happy Hour Hangout, where she does a cocktail and then trivia. And it's some pretty hard trivia sometimes. I did pretty decent last time, but I'm not gonna get too comfortable with that. I imagine that I probably won't do as good next time. But,
I'd be totally up for something like that. I love trivia.
5 p.m. Tuesdays.
Right on.
Yeah, Eastern Standard Time, obviously. You know, are you on the East Coast? Or are you on the?
I'm Central. I am
Central. Okay.
Yeah.
So it is 8 p.m. for you right now.
Yeah. Minnesota.
Oh wow! So you're up in the cold area. In Central.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right. Are you surrounded by snow currently, or are you just got cold? Too much. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's going away, but Mother Nature can't decide if, you know, it's going to be cold or warm when they're doing that. So, like, we'll have 2 days of like 45, 50, and then snowstorm.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, I'm down here in Florida, and usually Florida just decides not to participate in winter, just like at all. The rest of the country will be like, you know, going into the minus degrees or 0 or whatever, and Florida's just like, yeah, we're like 75, 80.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm complaining.
I used to live down in Texas, and I used to laugh at them people all the time, and you're like a half inch of snow.
Mm-hmm.
Like start shutting shit down left and right. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me?
But they can't handle it, man. You know, there's so in, I guess it was 1989, it snowed, and I mean the barest definition of snowed. It looked like somebody took powdered sugar and just shook it all over the top part of the state, right?
Got a little powder there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was enough to freeze like standing water, but it wasn't enough to like actually be snow. But
Right.
I mean, the entire state shut down just because nobody knows how to drive. They don't have any infrastructure to take care of snow. You know, they have no idea how to deal with it. So yeah, a little bit of snow in the warmer states, and yeah, they just shut down.
When I was growing up, my dad's idea of teaching me to drive in the snow was like, go with some shitties in the parking lot. Go learn to control it real quick.
Uh-huh.
And that's what we would do. We'd sit there and fishtail all around, and we put pylons up and see if we could do figure eights in parking lots. Fun.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, what's up, Shadowhawk? Thanks for coming to hang out, dude. Good to see you, man.
Hell, man. How you doing?
Hell. Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to learn how to drive anyway, right? Being in a parking lot and just, you know, especially in the snow. If there's nothing around, you can get used to like what the feel of like it fishtailing or losing control in the snow with, you know, without worrying about running into something.
Oh yeah, and you know, my first car was a '89 Thunderbird V8.
Nice.
So, yeah, you step on that thing a little bit, and that ass was just swinging everywhere.
Oh, I bet. Was that a rear wheel drive?
Yep.
Damn. I can only imagine. I mean, a V8 don't fuck around either.
No. I pretty much been all V8s, and except for a couple of years ago, I was running around in a Nissan, and I was like, nah, 4-popper ain't kicking it for me, man. Went and bought a truck.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I've got a 6-cylinder manual Veloster right now, and
Nice.
I love driving that thing. It's shiny black. Her name is Shadowcat, and she is my Batmobile.
Nice.
Fast. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, and it's a turbo too. So yeah, she's a quick little thing, and I absolutely love that car. But yeah. So what are you reading right now, man? I know you're working on your book, but do you read stuff while you're working, or do you wait until you're done and then read stuff?
Outside of like the new Mark Silvestri Batman.
Oh yeah, Deadliest Duo is great. Yep.
Not reading anything. That's Silvestri. That's just mandatory reading automatically. It's just you have to read.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong there, man. Silvestri just keeps getting better. You know, just over the years, it's just
like
yeah.
And his style switching. I mean, you can still clearly see it's Silvestri, but it's a completely different style.
It's I consider it like an evolution of his style, you know, because when he was working on Wolverine back in the day and X-Men back in the day, he had that kind of rougher, sketchier style, and now it's just kind of evolved and refined. I mean, it's a refined sketchy now. You know, I don't even know if does anyone even ink him, or are they just working directly from his pencils? I wonder.
I think they're going straight from pencils.
Yeah, either that or he's inking his own stuff.
Everything that I've seen has been in pencil. I haven't seen any inks on it, but
You're probably right. Right.
He's the only guy I know that can be loose and tight at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, the looseness that he uses informs the figure, and it adds texture to it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's still tight. You know. So yeah. I've been reading that as well. Actually, I probably have missed a couple of issues. I haven't been to the comic shop in a while. I actually used to work at my local LCS up until August of last year. Worked there for the better part of a decade, 7 years, and you know, the good stuff got fewer and farther between, unfortunately. And that Silvestri book is definitely something that people were looking forward to, you know, when it was announced way back when. But yeah, so theoretically, he's been working on this thing since 2014. You know, yeah. So it's been a long time coming. You know?
Yeah, the only other thing that I'm looking forward to that I see is coming around the corner here eventually is Grey Capullo's Creek.
Oh yeah, I mean that's yeah, definitely. Greg Capullo working on something of his own again. That is reason to be excited. Absolutely.
I would love to see Danny Mickey back on him, but I don't see it.
I mean, you know what? I haven't seen Danny Mickey doing anything recently. I mean, I might be missing it, but it would be nice to see him, like, you know, inking again, because that dude was just nuts.
I think he still inks some John Romita stuff, but
really,
yeah.
Oh, so working with him on Amazing Spider-Man?
Not sure. I haven't picked it up, but
yeah,
I think so because I know Romita really likes him as an inker.
I mean, Romita Jr. is another one that's just gotten better over the years. Yeah. Like he's refined his style to, you know, just a chef's kiss. I love that dude's work. I really do.
To me, I love his new stuff, but I thought his
Jason.
I think his peak was his second run on Iron Man.
Okay, all right, I can see that.
I love that. I love that style. He was so different than anybody else at that time.
Oh yeah, the run he did with on Amazing Spider-Man with J. Michael Straczynski. That to me is like some of the pinnacle of Spider-Man comics right there. Just the storytelling between JMS and JR as just incredible. And that run introduced so many different, you know, things that have now been, you know, expounded upon and, you know, made more integral since then. You know, the whole reason why we have Into the Spider-Verse is because of the stuff that J. Michael Straczynski set up, you know. Because Dan Slott then picked it up and he created the Spider-Verse per se, but it's because of the stuff that Straczynski set up first with the Spider Totem and Morlun and the Progenitors and all that stuff. So yeah, so we kind of owe J. Michael Straczynski a big thank you for all that stuff. Yeah, you know. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing.
I like his stuff. The only thing that I ever complained about was him and Quesada, you know, erasing the marriage between Peter and Mary Jane.
That wasn't Straczynski. That was all Quesada. No, that was all Quesada. So you can put that blame firmly on Quesada's shoulders. Okay. He's the jackass that decided to get rid of Peter's marriage.
See,
brand new day. How'd that work out? Shitty.
I never understood that. I'm like, how are you gonna tell me that you can't write a happily married couple? I mean,
it makes Peter Parker too old. You know, we need to make him younger and fresher and whatnot. Okay, whatever. Because, you know, superhero that, you know, is always has bad luck, but the one good thing that happens in his life is that he meets this beautiful bombshell supermodel that is absolutely in love with him and is there for him through thick and thin. You know, and you gonna take that from this dude? Fuck off, man. That's just dumb.
That's like my whole thing right there. I mean, that was his one thing. That's the one thing that could renew his hope, you know, and keep him going because he had that at home.
Yeah. You know, face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. Yeah, he did. And then Quesada took it away because we needed to make Spider-Man hip and young again. It's like, come on, man. He's not a teenager anymore. You got to there was character progression, and it was cool to see the interaction because I grew up reading Spider-Man, right? You know, and the Spider-Man that I grew up with, he was always, you know, an adult. You know, I have the wedding issue. You know, he was always an adult working either in college or working for the Bugle, doing his thing, married to Mary Jane, and they were making it work. You know, there's a page that I really like where he had like literally just gotten home a couple hours ago and crashed out next to Mary Jane. She wakes up early. And she's like, nope, wake up, Tiger, you got stuff to do. He's like, can I just lay here for like 3 days? She's like, nope, not with our money problems. I've got to go do this, and you've got to go take pictures for the Bugle. He's like, all right, bring on the coffee and all that, the mentholated shaving cream. And she's like, I got something better. She takes off her nightgown and jumps on him. I was just like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. I like that.
Right.
You know? And they took that away, you know? So, I don't know. That, to me, that was kind of like the turning point, like the kind of a downfall for Marvel. You know, that one more day shit. So,
yeah, see, I mean, I'm the same as you. They've always been married. I mean, my favorite issue is, you know, the Tom McFarlane issues. They were married. They went through hell over the whole Venom thing, you know.
Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Venom was psychotic back then. I mean, just nasty.
Oh, yeah. See, I always, I enjoyed the 2 Venom movies a lot more than I expected to. I enjoyed the first one more than the second one. But, you know, the way they did it, we're never going to get that whole, like, you know, Mary Jane looking in the corner and saying, oh, Peter, it's you. You know, because he was still wearing the black costume at that time. Yep. And then that fucking wicked, toothy grin comes out of the shadows, and she just fucking freaks out. Like, she's just terrified. And she's almost catatonic by the time Peter gets home. And that's exactly what Brock wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean,
stuff, man. That was great stuff.
Good storytelling back then, man. You know, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they really care to tell good stories anymore. They just want to, I don't know, do what's hip. I'm hip. I'm cool. Ducka, 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 ducka. It's like, come on. You're not hip. You're not cool. You guys suck. So
I'm really at the point now where I just really don't pick up anything Marvel or
What's
DC.
up, brother? Good to see you, Pedro.
What's up, Pedro?
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I'm just getting slapped with the woke fish all the time. I'm just
Well, I mean, even if it's not, you know, trying to push an agenda, the quality of writing just isn't there. You know, there's the storytelling isn't there. Like, a lot of these people that are writing books, and this is something I was talking about with Pete Sametti last night, a lot of these people don't seem to actually understand what makes a good comic. They don't, you know, you grow up reading comics and you read a lot of comics, you kind of pick up on like nuances and subtleties of storytelling, you know, in both art and in writing, right?
Yeah.
And it's just not there in this new crop of writers. They don't understand the subtlety of storytelling, these nuances that make comic books a unique kind of alchemy. So, you know, and when I was working at the comic shop, it got harder and harder and harder to recommend anything. People would come in and be like, oh, so what's good up on the wall? And I'm thinking to myself, not a goddamn thing. But there's a lot of really cool indie shit on the internet that you should probably go check out. But being in a comic shop, I can't say that. You know, right. we gotta try to sell things. So, you know, I recommend a trade that came out like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I recommend, you know, these back issues. You know, or like there's every so often there'd be like a cool book coming out from like Source Point or Scout Comics or something like that. You know, some of the little the small indie publishers. Every now and then something cool would come out from Image or Dark Horse. You know, but so few and far between, man. And that's why I love this indie scene over here. You know.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see what is your process for creating right now?
Process wise, I don't know. I get ideas in my head and I'll just sit and play around with it until it starts looking like something I actually want to do something with.
Right, and you said you're working digitally now. Do you do pencil digitally and then ink traditionally, or is it purely digital?
So there's an alchemy to that.
Yeah.
I'll do my roughs digitally. Print it out, pencil it.
Oh.
I don't like the feel of the digital pencil.
Right.
I want to actually hold it in my hand. So, you know, old school pencil it. Feed it back in with a scanner and then digitally ink it.
Okay, I totally understand that. I mean, it's taken me a long time to find a digital pencil that I like well enough to draw with. just to get that feel. And then what I'll do is I'll tighten it up to a certain point, and then I'll blue line it and print it out, and then I will ink it traditionally. You know, as a matter of fact, see you can kind of see a piece right here that I've got. These are blue line pencils.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I'll print that out, and then, you know, like I was saying, I'll grab my my Raphael number 3, and you know my my Hunt 107, and you know, go nuts on it.
My daughter calls that the evil pointing thing.
Oh, dude, I have to be careful where I place my cup of you know, inking nibs, because I'll go to reach for something and you can still see the line the last time I cut myself on my nib. Yeah, it's not an uncommon thing for me to accidentally, you know, cut myself open on my inking implements.
My daughter was reaching to go because she has decided to keep her art stuff next to my art stuff. And she was reaching to go to one of her things.
Yeah.
And the nib literally stuck right into her arm.
Yep. I'll do that. Yep. Ouch. Ouch. So, artistic-wise, where are your influences at? And how does that play into the creation of your character? But first, artistic influences.
Artistic influences, well, I started off, my very first comic book I ever read that made me love comics was Alan Davis's Excalibur graphic novel.
Alan Davis, so good, man. And then, Mark Farmer inking, right?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Amazing team.
Chris Claremont, Alan Davis, Farmer. Yep.
Classic stuff, man. Classic.
And then that got me hooked into comics. And then the actual first books I ever bought were at the local drugstore on the Spinner.
Yes.
They had
love me a spinner rack.
They had Mark Silvestri's Uncanny X-Men Inferno, the Inferno.
Oh yeah, dude, great run.
And when I opened up the one page, I think it was issue 247, you got Goblin Queen in Jean Grey's arms on that first splash.
Oh wow.
I'm like, I'm a comic book artist. This is what I want to do.
I'm sold. This is what I want to do with my life. That's a great issue to to have that epiphany at.
Yeah, it was instantaneous as soon as I saw that. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. I don't give a shit about anything else. I'm doing this. Yeah, it was instantaneous.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And then after that, it was Bart Sears. I was grooving on Bart Sears, Justice League Europe.
Bart Sears is great, man. Just Bart Sears' anatomy, like the anatomy and the poses that he does. It always his guys always look like, you know, an Adonis, and the chicks always look like the ultimate like Amazonian female. I mean, it's. Remember Brute and Babe?
I would have just an issue of Wizard because of those instructions that were in there, you know.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, those were great, man. The drawing school that were in those. I actually had a huge collection of Wizard magazines for a long time, and that was part of the reason why I held on to them, is because of all the stuff in there, the drawing stuff, you know, among other things. But yeah, my cats at the time decided that was the perfect place to pee. So. All that whole box full of Wizards, it smelled like ammonia by the time I discovered it, and yeah, it was bad. So all the Wizards went out, and now I've got like somebody gave me a few of the early ones, so I've got a few now. So yeah, you know.
Yeah, I still got all the issues that featured Jay Lee and Dale Keown. I still have those.
Nice.
I still have those issues, but all the other ones, I just ripped out all the Grey Cthulhu and Bart Sears instructions.
Yeah.
Together and just threw the damn things away.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. You know, the juvenile potty humor only goes so far.
Right. Well,
hello, Adriana. How's it going? Thanks for coming to hang out. Appreciate you being here. So, where did Doc Quasar come from? As I bring up the campaign here, we'll take a look at it. But tell me the origins of where did this character come from for you?
So, the beginnings of Doc Quasar started just with the idea that I wanted to do a galactic hero.
Okay.
I love the galactic stuff. It's always been a big thing to me. Jack of Hearts. Marvel's Quasar, Moondragon. Adam Warlock, all that stuff.
Just cosmic powerhouse characters.
Yeah, just majorly overpowered. Just because their opponents were always so much a bigger threat than the ground level.
Sure.
So I like that. So that's for the I've always wanted to do that, and I noticed more and more and more that was a hole in the indie market that wasn't really being filled too much. Right. I mean, we see a lot of tits, a lot of ass, especially over on Kickstarter.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like boobs?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if the auctions have taught me anything, the boobs sell. But
they do.
There's got to be a story to go along with the boobs.
I mean, yeah. I mean, my daughter was actually like joking around. She's like, "You want to get your cells up, Dad? You put some boobs on the cover." I'm like, "Yeah."
I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
But I'm like, I mean, I have a female character, but I don't know if that would work with her. I mean, if somebody wants some of that alien strange, maybe, but
okay, yeah. I mean, hey, never underestimate the audience and their desire for boobies.
Right. True that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I decided just to go forward with it because it seemed like a hole that I could fill.
Yeah.
And do my thing and be super happy doing it.
Excellent. So
yeah, then after I got the idea to do it, then the whole thing of trying to find a team to fit around me.
Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie is a writer over at Silverline, where I'm the regular penciler on Cat and Mouse over there.
So is that your day job? Is as a penciler?
No, my day job is a factory job.
Oh shit, man! So you got a day job, and then you pencil a book, and then now you're working on your book as well.
Yep.
Hot damn, man! That's awesome.
Well, it's
getting it done.
Like my elders told me, you want to do it, do it. Don't make an excuse.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you got a passion for it and you want to get it done. So you've been how long you been drawing, man? Because the artwork on this is looking great.
Oh, I've been drawing for ever, it seems like. I got my first pro job with Silverline, right on Cat and Mouse, right off the gate. And then
awesome.
Strangely enough, I've had editors at Marvel and DC tell me that my stuff's good, but they will never hire me because it's good, but it's too 90s looking. So,
I am so sick of hearing that fucking excuse. Like, that is some dumb shit. That is just some dumb shit.
Well, the greatest thing in the world is I actually heard that out of Jim Lee. Of all people, I heard it out of Jim Lee.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason why I have more respect for Mark Silvestri these days than I do Jim Lee. Just say it. Hey, Gina. Thanks for coming to hang out. Appreciate you being here.
A friend of mine had his email, so I emailed Jim and asked if it was okay if I got a portfolio review from him. And he was like, yeah, I'll look at your stuff. And then he sent me back. He was like, you're good, but your stuff's not modern. It's very stuck in the past. And he's like, you should look at, modernizing it a bit. And yeah, I basically did what you did. I just rolled my eyes. And
Okay, so how well is the modern take on comics working?
not real
They don't
well.
sell a fucking quarter of what comics used to in the 90s, even
Well,
after the fucking crash.
So that's the funny thing to me is all the books that are selling all look like 90s books. Silvestri, Capullo, McFarlane, Brett Booth.
Wow. You know what? Let the Titanic sink. We've got, a big old lifeboat over here, and we're making good comics. We're making comics that actually sell. We're making comics that look good, are fun, and have a good story.
Yep.
So whatever.
Absolutely. So yeah.
I mean,
aside from Mackenzie on the book, I was really being picky about the colorist on the book because I'm 90s, so I had to get an awesome 90s colorist, and that's Dave Kemp, Spawn, and
oh yeah, man, I recognize that name. Right on, dude. Kemp's great.
Kemp
the
makes me
colors
look
look
way
awesome.
better than I am.
Making you look good, right?
Oh yeah, he makes me look gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm digging the page layouts, man. Modern comics, like, and I kind of blame Brian Hitch for this a little bit. Like, Hitch is amazing. I love his line work. I think he's a tremendous artist. But the stuff that he did on the Ultimates, where it's all just wide panels all the time. Oh, well, we're going for a cinematic feel. You know what? This isn't cinema. This isn't movies. This is comics. And we have the ability to tell stories in a unique and different way. Why not take advantage of it? If I want to go watch a fucking movie, I'll go watch a fucking movie. When I'm looking at a comic book, I want to read a comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those black and white pages that are up right now, I can't wait to see what Dave does to those. I mean,
oh yeah,
that explosion is going to look great after he's done with it.
I agree. I mean, I love the black and white. I mean, I'm a sucker for black and white line work anyway. But yeah, once that gets colored up, I'm sure that's going to be amazing.
That actually brings up something I just recently talked to Luke about. I was thinking about offering a campaign, a cheaper version, and putting it in black and white, because a lot of the price for the books is for covering the cost of the letter and color.
Of course.
Like that.
You got to pay your people, know?
Well, I can make it a lot cheaper, and if people are interested, I can offer it much cheaper at black and white. They want a version of that.
Pedro says, I'm not on the Titanic, and I don't play the cello. They can have their modern look. Damn right, sir. Damn right.
Yep.
What's up, Devil Flyer? Good to see you, Rex. Thanks for coming to hang out, man. Let's see. Pedro says, coming from a film background, the first thing I did was getting rid of the film aspect ratio in my layouts. Yep. Yeah. It gets too static. It gets too boring. We need, stuff like this. Use the whole page as a storytelling mechanic, like this, for instance, this panel right here, this kind of catty corner panel where it's not, not straight all the way around, that adds tension. You can feel looking at this that there's a little bit of tension right here. The border around this panel right here and him breaking through, it adds tension. It's all part of it. It all works together to tell the story, set the mood, set the tone. If everything's the fucking same all the time, then the tension's broken. The mood is broken, Yeah. At least
exactly.
in my opinion, anyway.
No, I completely agree with you. It goes. My layouts go back to that whole 90s thing. I'm like, after they made that comment, I just started leaning harder into it. So
I'm going to do it even harder now.
I'm just going to, like the proportions on some of my people, when, looking down the camera angle, I just deliberately make it as big as possible.
Oh yeah, push that perspective, man. Yeah, 100%. You know, and use it to full effect. These are comics, for fuck's sake. You know, I'm sick of seeing people like sitting in coffee shops and talking to one another and boring static shots. Like if you're gonna have characters talking, like, you know, have them doing something. And I don't mean like sipping a cup of coffee or looking bored or whatever the hell it is they do.
That's all those poser programs can do. I noticed a lot of newer artists are using those poser programs, and they like lying over them.
I mean, posers for posers.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'm all for reference.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But reference real life.
But I mean, you can have people doing other shit.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Feline. I appreciate that.
I mean, if you look at like McFarlane or Old Silvestri, Brett Booth, J. Scott Campbell.
Love Brett Booth. Love J. Scott Campbell.
Even Capullo. Well, Capullo's a good example. If you look at the back, their people are picking their nose, picking their ass, drinking coffee, playing on the phone. I mean, they're doing all kinds of shit in the background. It looks more like a real environment. It's just...
It adds verisimilitude to it, man. You know, it makes it feel real. It adds depth to it. You know, all this, a lot. Reading a bunch of modern comics, I noticed that there's oftentimes like nothing in the background, and they just kind of fill it with a single color. So it's just like, it's a static shot of the character, not really done anything to make it feel any kind of drama, and then no background. Or just a solid color in the background. It's like this is boring comics. You're not engaging anybody, you know.
Yeah, I'm cool with dropping out the background if it's an important panel. You need to focus on those characters.
Absolutely, if it works for the story.
Yeah, but if it's like one of those transitional panels, I call them, where you're in the middle of two important points. You throw some shit in there so it's interesting, because no one wants to see people just talking, Well,
and you gotta ground the scene. You can't just and everything can't just be floating out in the ether somewhere.
Well, yeah, you should. Rowan, my editor over at Silverline, told me. I mean, you should have at least one real establishing shot on the page, so you know at least where the location's at, and put that in people's heads.
Just something for the audience to have reference. If you give them that opening shot, that establishing shot, then for the rest of that scene, that's what they're thinking. You've planted that seed, and then you can continue to tell the story.
Yep.
This is a badass piece here. Reaper Destroyer.
Joe Sante gave me permission to do a jam cover.
That's awesome.
And Reaper is a badass character. Joe did an awesome job designing him. So I just went balls out on that. It's just
this is awesome, dude. I dig this a lot. I love the balance of black and white. Yeah.
But the color version should be back soon, and it should really play because Doc Quasar's part signature is blue. And everything on Reaper Destroyer is red and black.
Yeah.
So there should be a nice hot and cool mix. It should look pretty cool.
That'll be a nice contrast. That'll be a nice contrast, man. So anyone who backs any physical tier gets all 3 awesome stickers. Nice, man.
Yep. And then as we get to the unlock stuff there, the 6,000 mark, I'll just tell everybody it is a button.
Nice.
If we can get there. And the buttons will be made by, if you're on Twitter, her name is Queen Mickey Ariyama.
Okay.
I don't see that right. She's a comic skater, and she is freaking awesome.
Excellent. I love it. I love hearing, people being used in the scene. People working with people that are actually, in this scene, part of the indie scene over here, part of Comixgater.
She backs campaign. She's into comics, and you know, I noticed that she made buttons. I'm like,
There you go.
let's have someone, you know, bring as many people into it. Like,
Yeah. Well, there's so many creative people over here. There's so much talent over here. It's insane, and it would be silly to not take advantage of that. You know,
right.
DIY or die. You know, that's the way I look at it. And we're this is indie comics. We do it all indie. You know, we support other small creators, other small businesses. You know, because a rising tide lifts all boats. And if we're all working towards the same goal of creating quality products, then we're all going to make quality products. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Pale Rider? Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming to hang out, dude. All right, so let's go take a look at your tiers up here, man. And I gotta say, I absolutely love this site. I was telling Luke Stone when I had him on for hybrids. You know, the volume, the 2 volumes in the RPG. We talked about Fund My Comic, and I love the site. It feels familiar, yet has its own unique feel and flavor. You know.
Oh yeah.
So 48 pages, and you can get a PDF for $10.
Yeah. Well, it's 48 pages plus. The reason I put the plus there is that the further along, the more money it raises, I'm going to start adding more stuff to it.
People always like more pages. People always like more story. Always a good way to go.
So there's a sketchbook. When we get to around 10K, if we give it to 10K, I'm throwing in a full sketchbook. I'm also giving everybody that head back actual sketch. So
wow,
it'd be a lot of drawing, but I'm gonna throw it in.
But I mean, that's incentive for people to back. You know, original art. People in this scene love original art. Absolutely love original art. So that's that. I think that's a good idea. You know. All right, so $20 for the book with the virgin cover, and this is you doing the cover and your colorist.
Yep.
Beautiful. And of course with the trade dress. Who did your logo for Doc Quasar?
Me.
Nice. Very cool. See, and even something as simple as the logo, that also adds to the feel, the tone. You know, I always like to say comics are a unique type of alchemy. You know, the combination of the things, and when all the pieces like work together, it's fucking magic. You know, because you got a good story, you got good art. It's quality entertainment when done correctly. So.
Yeah, I really wanted the logo. I really wanted to play with it a lot. And, one logo that I liked a lot was Dr. Solar.
Okay.
I liked the logo, and it went kind of, Kitty Wampus across the page. It was like all weird.
Yeah.
Wasn't all nice and neat. It was kind of weird. So.
Yeah, it kind of coming at you a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, the X-Men logo, prime example of that. Kind of
like
coming right at you.
It was awesome. Love that.
Classic logo. Let's see. Oh, you doing holofoil? Yep. Really?
Yeah.
Found somebody that
colored by Vega. Can't remember his full name. He's on Twitter. I just know him as Vega.
Nice.
But yeah, he did that, and I kept looking at it. I'm like, man, this would be really cool, the prism foil or a hollow foil or something like that. And
I mean, the colors right here around Doc Quasar. Yeah, that I can totally see that being like wicked cool, all hollow foil.
Wow. Yeah, I even the blue around the Doc Quasar logo on that too. I deliberately brightened it up even more to take advantage of the hollow foil.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be cool. And again, throwing back to the 90s, I mean, they used to do holofoil stuff like that all the time, Unfortunately, it got to be a bit too much, and, but every now and then having something like that, like especially at a number one or a brand new book, a premiere, it makes it special,
Yeah. I'm trying to find someone that will do a die cut.
Ooh, die cuts are great too.
Yeah, one of my favorite books, Wolverine number 50.
Oh yeah, I have that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's eye catching, and then you open up the book, and you're like, oh wow, there are actually holes in this cover. What?
Yeah.
And it fits with the story. You remember when back in the day when covers actually used to tell a story, and they used to tie into the story within the book.
I do. Peppered Farmer.
I miss those days. Yeah, I miss those days.
Me
What's
too.
up, Will? Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming to hang out.
Yep.
Appreciate you being here. All right, so $30 for the holofoil.
Yeah.
And then, wow, so $50 gets you all three.
Yeah.
The virgin cover, the regular cover, and the holofoil cover. That's a hell of a deal, dude.
Yeah. I went as low as I could go on that. Yeah.
I mean, that really is a great deal to get all three covers.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
When I'm doing that, like the campaign stuff, I was like really crunching really hard. Like, how low can I get the price down and still manage to pay everybody?
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome, man. And let's see. So and then 20. So the only one that you wouldn't get in this set would be the Reaper Destroyer Doc Quasar cover.
Right. That's the only one you can't get in that. The reason why I didn't include that is, one, it's got a discount code on it. I don't know if Joe is giving out the code for it or not. I have to ask him. But there is a 20% off code on that.
Oh wow!
On that cover.
I mean, you guys heard it here first. Go pester Joe Sontag about that 20% off code, and then get all four of the covers. Because I'm guessing that you can get this set here and then do this as an add-on.
You should be able to.
Okay.
I think Luke's got it set it up that way.
I know that there are some features that he's looking to add. I can't remember if that was one of them or not, but yeah, I really can't wait to see that Doc Quasar Reaper Destroyer cover colored. That's gonna be rad, man.
Yeah, and that's only gonna come out of the Virgin. There's not gonna be any dress on that whatsoever. So it's just gonna be that.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, you've got a badass image like that. You don't necessarily need trade dress on that. Sometimes it's nice to have one without the trade dress. Hey, Ms. Goodstuff, thank you for swinging by. Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
As Saturday, there will be a whole kit. There's only going to be one available for that cover. So you'll be able to get that cover, the original pencils for it.
Ooh.
The stickers, and a whole bunch of other goodies. But there's only going to be one available because of the artwork. I only got one.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All right. Well, make sure you get that out there so people know, so they can jump on that. Yeah. That's freaking cool, man. And so you said you do your inking digitally, right?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you actually have original pencils to sell. That's not something we see very often. Usually it's a fully inked piece. The traditional art is inked and whatnot. But I love the look of pencils as well.
Man, I think pencils look prettier than ink sometimes, because there's so many different layers to the pencils.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
a lot more texture with a pencil.
Yeah, and then you get the inks, and it kind of evens things out a bit.
Yeah.
But there's a whole new appreciation to inks because There's some people like Bernie writes, and that, oh my god.
Oh my god, I love Bernie's work.
That's all I got is this. Oh my god, like, oh,
Yeah,
Bernie's
I mean,
amazing.
just just looking at like his old Frankenstein stuff like that. I mean,
Yes.
the one, Frankenstein and or Dr. Frankenstein and his monster in his lab, and just all the fucking stuff in the background, and he's just grabbing him, and just intense, just
Like,
intense.
And there was no zip and tone. It's just line weight variation.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Because he wanted to emulate the old woodcut artists.
Yep.
Like the printmakers, because they would chisel that stuff out, and they had to had to carve it out, and it had those lines. So he thought that they were doing that by hand. So he taught himself how to do that by hand, and oh my god,
Yeah.
just incredible.
The amount of labor that had to go into Frankenstein, I mean, it's just blows your mind.
Just absolutely insane. And back then that was definitely a prestige format, but they gave him time to do that. He had time to do that. The
thing that really gets me is, like, he was amazing when he was with the studio. Are you familiar with the studio?
The one that he was in with Mike Kaluta and those
Barry
guys.
Windsor Smith,
Barry Windsor Smith, Kaluta. Yep.
Jones, all those guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was already at a peak when he was with the studio, to where they were like rock stars, And then
shit, everybody in that studio was a fucking rock star, though.
Yeah. So then he leaves and pumps out, Frankenstein. It just takes it to a whole different level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever read the Frankenstein Alive that he was working on with Steve Niles that Kelly Jones had to finish?
Yeah.
So good. Like, and see that another person that just kept getting good, kept getting better.
Yeah,
kept
Bernie was
refining.
always required reading. I would, even if I didn't read the story, I just would sit and study Bernie's work. Like,
I mean, Frazetta, Bernie, Barry Windsor Smith, like these are all guys that I pour over the work. I mean, Weapon X from Barry Windsor Smith is still one of my favorite reads ever.
I pour over a lot of Beasley too, though. So
Beasley's fucking great, man. His early Lobo stuff. Lobo the Last Zarnian. I mean, just crazy, off the wall, good shit. I have a show that I do with Ink Spots and Matt Barr called Do You Even Read? And the last book we went over was Lobo the Last Zarnian. And
I love that book.
It's a great book.
Yep.
Just nuts stuff, man. But see, that's the thing. In modern comics, like they don't have time for classic stuff like that anymore. Like, I mean, you see Beasley's doing covers for people over here. Like Aaron Lepresti's got a Wraith of God cover from Beasley, and Phil has got a Crimstone cover for Lost Pages 3 over at Zaid Comics. I mean,
I saw that. That looked freaking cool.
The
imitational logo was back. Yeah.
An homage, a well done homage. There's a lot of, and this was something I was talking about with Pete yesterday.
It's cool when you can get an artist to homage themselves,
Right. Because there's a lot of artists out there, like in modern comics, that don't know how to do an homage. They don't understand how to do it properly. It's not just lifting directly from,
Well, see, I don't even think it's that. I think some people just don't try to do them anymore because you have the swipe police just running all over Facebook and Instagram and everything else. You even have a hand that looks similar to somebody. They're like, "Oh, you're swiper, no swiping."
Well, see, that's the thing. If you're intentionally doing an homage, say that you're doing an homage. Yeah. Make sure it is well known. That way people can't try to throw you under the bus for, dumb shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, anytime I do it, it says after whoever.
Oh, always. Yeah, totally.
The one cover on there, the holofoil one, even though it's tiny, my signature says after Mobius.
Oh, okay. I can
That,
totally like the texture on the rock here and stuff, and the way this is
that,
constructed. I totally see that.
that was really, really hard because I wanted to do as close as possible to the Silver Surfer Parable cover.
Yeah, Parable's
And
a fun story.
Mobius is a bitch to duplicate. His line work was impeccable.
Yeah, yeah. I was on Fragtober with my buddy Jason, Unhinged there in the chat. We were on with Fraga, and it was Mobius night, and so everybody had to draw like Mobius, and we're all like, "This, I can't. I hate this. I hate what I've drawn. It looks like shit." Because we're all trying to emulate, we're trying to emulate Mobius, and it's just nobody had line work like him. Nobody drew like him. Nobody really thought like him.
Yeah, I think that cover took me 9 or 10 tries.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was in pencil, and then going back and trying to ink it again. Because I didn't know that sometimes he would work just directly in ink.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Penciled it, then inked it. So
yeah, no, sometimes he would just go directly in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had been doing this for so long that, he knew where he wanted the lines. He just knew, Mobius is another one that I love to look at. I got a bunch of stuff that he did with Jodorowsky, Angel Claws and the Inkall, and yeah. And there's another weird book that I got by him and Jodorowsky that I can't remember the name of. It's just some very just bizarre shit. But I mean, it's Mobius and it's Jodorowsky. I mean, you kind of expect that. It's going to be weird. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's like
this.
Picking up a Druid. That's like picking up a Druid book.
Yeah. This looks like a lot of fun, man.
It is. The book's a blast. I absolutely love doing it. I severely hope it gets funded because I can literally do this book forever. Like,
nice.
I love it. There's so many crazy things going on, and I put so much research into it. I know people will cringe a bit, but I had to deliver. I wanted the worst villains possible. So I modeled the whole thing after the Nazis.
I mean, they're kind of shorthand for evil assholes these days.
Well, so. Yeah, but I mean, I really got into it. I was watching Nazi videos and History Channel and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So the main villain, Mammon, the name itself is actually a demon name. So
yeah, I was about to say. So you grabbed a good name for the bad guy.
He was directly modeled after Mingala.
Man, what a piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. The Angel of Death. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was reading into all the twisted shit he was doing, and
oh yeah.
So there's as much action as it is when you get to the Mammon parts. It's gory horror. I mean, I show it.
Nice. Yeah.
So there's
not pulling any punches with this book.
I'm not. It's just full throttle. It's just,
Hell yeah. Right on, man.
And when I told Mackenzie when we're talking about it, I'm like, don't worry about PC stuff. Don't worry about anything. If you want to
tell
write
a good story,
just go for it. And there's some parts where I think she was laying back a little bit, and I'm like, nah, I'm just going to blow these up even more. I'm like,
we're going to turn it up to 11. Yeah, this one goes to 11.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, there's some scene, human dissections and some morally questionable things done by Mammon, and just the whole viewpoint of that whole alien race that he belongs to.
Right.
They kind of behave the way a lot of the Germans did towards the Jews. So yeah, I got really, really into it, and then I got some synthesizers in there. as the Ishta, who I guess a heroine or a main figure, who teaches Quasar how to use his powers. She's kind of a sympathizer to the point where she deliberately has plastic surgeries and stuff like that to try to look more human. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's all kinds of crazy shit going on.
Yeah, man. It sounds like you've definitely had a lot of fun being in this world and creating this world.
Oh, I love it. And the weird thing is it's so great when I get a scene where I get to kill one of the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I was waiting for this fucker to get it.
Oh, I do. There's characters in there that I can't stand. Like I got one modeled up after Himmler. And,
yeah.
Man, I was just dying to kill that bastard. It's just
awesome. So very satisfying when they finally get their just desserts.
Oh yeah, I mean, you hear creators all the time like, "Oh, these are my babies." I'm like, no, some of these are my demons, man. I was like,
right,
stomp the shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Exercise the demons through art and story.
That's right.
Hell yeah. So what is the elevator pitch for Doc Quasar as we're winding down here?
This is why I got a writer, because I'm not good at this part.
It's all good.
It's an action-packed book. I mean, it is. I know Mackenzie wrote it as man versus monster, but it's really human struggle versus all odds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
man versus the world, the universe.
It really is. I mean, everything's going to be thrown at him. He's going to hit his peak, and he's going to fall. And yeah, I mean, just crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we get to see him all powerful, and then get knocked down, and then has to build himself back up.
Yep. I really want to bitch slap my hero at least a couple of times. Yep.
Nice.
He needs it for growth. He won't be a good child without it.
Well, I mean, it's going on the journey with the character. That's what makes a good story. You get involved, you get invested in the character. You want to see them succeed. And sometimes bad stuff happens to the characters, and we're along for the ride. And we want to see them be able to pull themselves back and pick themselves up by the bootstraps. And everybody loves an underdog story, right?
Oh yeah.
So
underdogs are great. Especially I think when we're talking about the '90s stuff. I mean, there was some of those best stories where like Spidey versus Venom. That was a huge underdog fight.
Oh yeah.
Lost his ass.
Yeah, because Venom would just absolutely beat the tires off of Spider-Man.
Oh.
Just some of his most bloody knockdown drag out fights were with Venom. And I always thought it was cool that once they started subletting the Venom symbiote out to different people, Eddie Brock Venom was always the strongest Venom because of the shared hatred of Peter Parker.
Yep.
Like that original thing that brought the symbiote and Brock together is the thing that makes him the most powerful Venom.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a neat little wrinkle in the story. And that's why he damn near killed Spider-Man almost every time they tangled.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean that's what the hell that I want to put Doc through. I mean, have him go through those moments, have him grow through those moments.
Yep. Character arcs, man, progression.
Yeah, the more I'm doing it, the more attached I'm getting to them, and the more like I said, I just do them forever. I just love them. Being a cosmic character, I can put them through wormholes and put them in different universes and meet different characters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so if anybody has a character you want to meet Doc, it's doable.
That's right. Can be can do anything with the space travel. And that is one of the cool things about cosmic characters. I mean, that was always one of the cool things about Silver Surfer. Yep. He could be anywhere and do just about anything. You know,
Oh yeah, I
'cause-
mean, with Quasar's power, I mean, he's dealing with the power of sun. A sun being in him, he can
Yeah.
accidentally create a black hole. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, dude, this book looks fantastic. Everybody, go hit the link on fundmycomic.com. Link for Doc Quasar is in the description as well. Let's see. I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat here. But go check this out. Go back at here. I'm glad you chose to launch on fundmycomic.com. We need to drive more people over to this site, get more people using it, because it's a fantastic site.
It really is. Luke and his team did an amazing job over there. I can't push that site enough. Like,
Same. I'm looking forward to seeing what more he's able to do with it. One, and to see what kind of cool campaigns end up going on there. I can't wait for somebody to start crowdfunding a tabletop game, or a magazine, or something outside of a comic book. I want people to take full advantage of the awesome features this site has, and the ability to do all kinds of cool shit with it.
Oh yeah, and Luke's planning on scaling it up more.
Yep.
I know you're talking about putting in a cart or something like that. Also, you can cool things. I mean, so at some point, it's going to be more than what Kickstarter, Campaigner, and
Oh yeah. I mean, it's already got features that Kickstarter and Indiegogo don't have, so it's only going to get better from here, because this is just the beginning.
Exactly.
Just the beginning. Well, Wubba, thanks for coming to hang out, man. This has been fun.
It has been a blast, man.
I hope you get more eyes on this. We'll talk a little bit backstage, and I'll recommend some people to maybe reach out to and see if you can get on their shows as well. But chat, you guys are amazing. Appreciate you being here. Everybody that's hung out and dropped links and all that. I'm looking at you, Feline. You're awesome. Thank you. But remember, always
Shop smart, shop S-smart.